Welcome back to the channel. My name is David and my goal is to help you enjoy your life to the fullest. So today's video is going to be a short one. I'm just going to be talking about how you can overcome your intrusive thoughts or your OCD compulsions. So a little medical disclaimer, I am not a licensed therapist and everything that I'm recommending is just from my own personal experience. But I think the techniques that I will be sharing, or it's really just one simple technique. I really don't want to overcomplicate things because I know that can trigger further your OCD or your intrusive thoughts, thinking that it's hopeless and all that. So just one simple technique that I would like to share that is going to help you overcome your intrusive thoughts. So let's get into the video. Past couple months, I started developing intrusive thoughts that will not go away. Now, this is described in OCD as pure O. And pure O is basically you just have some sort of thought that keeps reoccurring. For example, a very common one is sacrilegious thoughts, such as picturing the devil, that you're the devil incarnate, or think that you're a serial killer because you keep thinking about killing people, things like that. And what people think, first of all, you have to understand is that you are not your thoughts. So anytime that a thought appears, realize that that's not who you actually are. Now this gets more into spirituality and concepts I'm not going to get into this video, but please understand that whenever you have a thought, just notice it, because that's not you. You're not in control of the thoughts that appear. Now it's easy to think about that and understand that, but let's be practical. Whenever you're going about and doing things, you're not going to be able to like constantly step away from your thoughts. You're gonna have to, if you're talking to someone, you can't constantly just disassociate and notice that you're not your thoughts. Like, it's not going to work practically. So there has to be a way for you to just overcome the thoughts completely, overcome the compulsion to keep thinking about it and the negative feelings associated with that thought. Now that brings me into the second point, getting in touch with your emotions. So whenever you have an intrusive thought or some thought that you're afraid of, that you're fearful of, that causes you anxiety and all of these things, there's a lot of advice out there in the OCD community, and it can lead you to a downward spiral because every single advice is different. And although they have an overarching commonality, most of them just get you more and more caught up in thinking you have OCD and developing that belief system. So whenever you do have that thought, you want to get in touch with your emotions and realize what you're feeling. Okay, what does that negative sensation feel like? What is that negative stimulus? What does that feel like in your body? Where is it? Like, what sensation does it feel like? Okay, that's the very first step you have to do. Now I'm going to get into the technique, the one simple technique. That's all you have to do. Letting go of the emotions, the sensations. Okay, so what that means is every single time you have that specific thought, that pure OCD thought, intrusive thought that you're having that causes you so much anxiety, every single time you have it, completely embrace and feel those emotions. Okay, now that doesn't mean trying to reframe it or change it into a more positive emotion, nothing like that. The way you can imagine it is whenever the emotions come up, letting it be there without the judgment of wanting to change anything. So practically what that means is, for me, what I started doing was every single time I started thinking about that thought again, I would start purposely thinking about it and then see what comes up, right? Because the more I started thinking about it, the more, I guess, like variations of that thought came up, and every single one of them would trigger me. Whenever those emotions come up, start diving into it and embracing those emotions and just let yourself feel everything. That was the biggest game changer for me. Now, one thing you have to understand is that emotions are what causes the thoughts. If you're in a negative emotional state, what are the thoughts that come up? Negative. If you're in a positive, happy, environment with your friends, you're playing video games or something, and just having fun, what are the thoughts that come up? More positive thoughts. So what that means is whenever you have this recurring negative or intrusive thought, there is an underlying emotion that is fueling it. And what you have to essentially do is let go of these emotions. And that doesn't mean pushing it away and not letting yourself feel it. Letting go is essentially the letting go of the resistance towards those feelings. So practically, very simplistically, what that means is whenever those emotions come up, just embrace it and sink into it. You can think of, like, let's say for example, you're at a massage parlor, and what do? You obviously, you're going to relax and let the masseuse do their thing. That is essentially what you're doing internally, is whenever those emotions come up, just let yourself feel it and relax into it, like kind of like that. Okay, you don't have to believe me, but just do it. It doesn't hurt. Like, there's no downsides to doing it, and it could potentially change your life just like it did for me. Now, whenever those thoughts come up, there's nothing fueling it, and so I get it less and less, and eventually you'll just forget it. But what you need to start doing right now is the process of letting go of the emotions and just reinforcing it and doing it constantly. Because once you get over that, you can start implementing that idea of letting go of the emotions and the sensations with everything in life. Every single negative emotion, every single, you have to feel your emotions. It's that simple. You can't run away from them. Every time you want to run away from it, it builds up and it strengthens and gets stronger and stronger and stronger until you can't push them down anymore, and things happen. Negative things happen. So what we have to start effectively doing is to feel your emotions and let it be there. It's trying to tell you something. That's all it's doing. It'll come up and then it'll leave on its own. So please implement that and start trying it and see how much your life changes. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you like videos like these, I'll keep making them. So yeah, peace.